The U.S. has returned 38 Chinese cultural artifacts to China. The U.S. and China signed a memorandum of understanding that aims to prevent the illegal importation of Chinese cultural artifacts into the U.S. in January 2009. Its validity was extended for the third time on January the 14th. For the latest, let's go live to John Terry in New York. Great to see you there, John.
Yes.
So tell us more about this repatriation and some of the priceless pieces.
Well, I tell you, Honan, I've had a lovely evening. We were all at the Chinese Consulate General in Midtown Manhattan. The building doesn't look very much from the outside, but you go inside, it's absolutely beautiful. So I really enjoyed myself. And there on two tables, 38 relics for us all to see. And it is assumed at this moment that they come from the Ming and the Qing dynasties. They are, we think, Buddhist cultural relics. And one that really caught my eye is called a bronze stupa. Now, a stupa is I suppose you'd call it a Buddhist temple, really, which is used for meditation. And there are also slabs of pottery with bright colours still visible on them after all these years. And there was also a black line taped around these tables. The consulate staff conveniently and considerately put those in place so that journalists like me couldn't get too close to these relics and break them, which we did not do, you would be glad to hear. Now, the point is the 38 were all looted from China, and they were smuggled into America with the intention of selling them to wealthy American investors. And there's a lot of interest in Chinese antiquities here. Should these 38 pieces have come to auction, for example, then they would be worth around $500,000 collectively, although I think probably they are priceless. But they did not get to auction or to any wealthy buyer and disappeared forever because the Antiquities Trafficking Unit, part of the police in New York, stopped the smugglers, arrested them, and those smugglers are now going to be charged under the US law, which is why we're getting them back now in China. Now, the guest of honor tonight was the head of the National Cultural Heritage Administration, Li Chuan, and the items were verified before our very eyes by independent verifiers, something the consulate called the conditioning checks. And then Li Chuan and Colonel Matthew Bogdanos, who's the head of the Antiquities Trafficking Unit, sat down in front of us, signed the documents, held the documents up with the signatures, and that's it. The antiquities are now on their way to China. Now, I did not ask when they'll arrive in China. Perhaps I should have done. I didn't, so I don't know when they'll arrive in China. But the point is they are on their way home at long last, beginning their long journey. And Bogdanos says that he and his team will keep tracking these things. Over the last 12 years, they've sent 5,000 artifacts back to 22 countries, including China, worth a total of about $4 million, he said. So it's an ongoing battle to stop the smugglers from smuggling this stuff around the world and into the United States. And the final point from tonight was made very clearly. Don't believe the headlines between the US and China. It's not all bad. These two countries can cooperate and very willingly and are very happy to do so if and when they want to. And this was an example of that tonight. It was a very good evening here.
Well, such a rare opportunity for you to take a glimpse of the cultural artifacts returned to China. Thank you so much, John, for your reports from New York.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.